Guys, the Bitcoin price is at crucial support levels right now. If we break the $64,700 level with a 4-hourly candle to the downside, I can tell you the breakdown target would actually be the $55,000 level, and after the bulls now had to take so much energy to break the all-time high, the bears could have an easy game to push the price down all the way, like I said, to the $55,000 level. So we want to talk about how likely it is that the bulls fail to hold these support levels right now, what other bearish chart patterns we have on the smaller time frames, and especially what the big time frames are telling us for the next couple of weeks. Is this small correction that needs to be expected for Bitcoin maybe then everything, or do we have to expect even lower prices? All of this in today's video, so stick around till the very end if you don't want to miss out on any of that. I will let you know the exact price levels we have to break to the upside before we can open new long positions or scale up our trades. I will let you know exactly the price levels that if we break them to the downside, I would take profits of my massive $4 million worth of long positions, and especially how far we could go and at what price levels I would start scaling up my long positions again. So like I said, stick around till the very end. We also want to talk about the Bitcoin dominance. Then the Bitcoin dominance is actually foreshadowing an altcoin season that could start within the next few days. So like I said, stick around. A lot of important information in this video, and as always, I would really appreciate it if you could smash up a like on this video. Don't forget to subscribe, activate the bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And guys, I wanted to mention something before we jump back into the charts. I just started my new Twitter account, guys. It's absolutely insane. I started tweeting. I already gained 3,500 followers, and as you guys know, I haven't mentioned this Twitter account in any videos yet. And the tweets are actually performing very, very nice. Imagine like this trade here, over 300 likes already. So the people really like the content I'm posting here. So guys, make sure to follow this Twitter account. Link is on the top of the description, and also activate the Twitter notifications for sure if you don't want to miss out any kind of short updates on the Bitcoin price in between where I don't have the possibility to upload a video. But now let's jump into the charts and not talk too much. So first of all, let's start with the bigger time frames to find out what the general market direction is. And for sure, guys, on the weekly time frame, we just broke out of this massive symmetrical triangle. We still have a higher breakout target of this massive symmetrical triangle here on the weekly time frame, as well as the big cup and handle that we also broke out of on the weekly time frame. I mean, this cup and handle also has a breakout target of $74,000. So on the weekly time frame, everything is still looking very bullish. So let's take a look on the daily time frame. And also on the daily time frame, I told you guys we just broke here this very crucial resistance with the daily candle 2 days ago. We broke it to the upside, and so far we are actually holding this old resistance as support right now. As you guys can see, on some exchanges we saw a massive sell-off. This didn't happen on all exchanges. Actually, this wick to the downside didn't happen on all exchanges. Luckily, on the exchanges where I trade, it actually didn't happen. So on Binance, Bybit and Phemex, it didn't happen. It has to be some spot exchanges that saw like a massive long squeeze of some kind, or maybe one party just sold off massive amounts of Bitcoin on one exchange. So on some exchange we actually saw a wick probably down to $58,000, which is fairly interesting because this definitely means that some big party actually sold a ton of Bitcoin exactly today. So let's keep an eye on the smaller time frames, even because as long as we hold here the $63,500 level, I'm not really seeing any downside for Bitcoin in the near future. But let's take a look at the 4-hourly time frame, because here things actually start to look a lot different. And even if we go to the 1-hourly time frame, we can already see Bitcoin is right now forming this massive M pattern here. And this M pattern, if we break the neckline, which is exactly at the $64,700 level, this M pattern would actually have a breakdown target of, I will tell you now exactly, of $62,500. And as you remember, this support level where the neckline right now is actually also the exact price level where the support, the upward sloping support of our massive rising wedge is at right now. So the $64,600 to $700 level is one crucial support on the smaller time frames. And if we close a 4-hourly candle below that, I can already tell you I will start again taking some profits, because a dump all the way down to the $62,500 level, which is actually our old massive resistance turned into support, as you can see here, of our big rising broadening wedge. this support will be retested. It's very likely. So I'm just going to take some profits, and if we see a bounce here off the $62,500 level, I will for sure then just put the profits I took up here back into the trade. But one thing is that is very important. If we are seeing this breakdown in the next couple of hours, today or tomorrow, one thing that I want to make sure that you keep an eye on is not only that we bounce here, but that we bounce here hard. We have to get above the $63,700 level almost instantly. Right? We have to bounce back above it because we will see a small wick down to the $62,500 level, and the bulls have to manage to buy this wick back up again before the daily candle closes, because otherwise we are closing the daily candle again below crucial support. I mean, as you guys can see, we had multiple tests here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 retests of this old resistance line that now turned into support when we broke above it, and a fake out above this support would definitely mean that the bulls ran into a bull trap. And I mean, the next support on the daily time frame would actually just be the $47,000 level. I'm not expecting a dump to $47,000 because on the weekly time frame, even if the daily turns bearish and pulls the weekly down with it, I mean, we really have to say that the weekly support already comes into play at the $50,000 level latest. The first weekly support is at $58,000, the second one is at around $52,000, and the last one is at around $50,000. And this is all of our big symmetrical triangle here on the weekly time frame, and also because of this big 8-year support and resistance channel on the weekly time frame. So the worst case that I'm looking out for at this point of time is for sure dump all the way down to the $50,000 level on the weekly time frame before continuing higher. This is really the worst case that I'm imagining right now, and that's why, for example, my Binance position here has still an entry price of only $42,900, because I just want to make sure that this trade stays open even if the bulls don't manage to hold the daily support with the bearish price targets that we have forming on the smaller time frames at the moment. This is the only trade actually that has an entry price above the $50,000 level. It's my high risk Femex trade. It's not the Femex trade that I showed you in the last couple of videos. It is actually a trade that I also mentioned in my last videos, and I scaled up a lot after we were breaking the daily resistance to the upside. And this trade actually has an entry price of $60,000. So if we break below the $64,600 level that I just showed you, this exact level over here, then I mean it's definitely time to take some profits of this trade at least, because this one has a very high probability of maybe even getting wicked out if we see a bigger dump. But that's already it, guys. That's the price levels I'm keeping an eye on. I mean, if for sure I see the probability of us breaking here to the downside higher, but I'm waiting for the breakout before I take any actions of my trade. Should we again, the bulls manage again to break out of this two bearish chart patterns to the upside, this would for sure be a signal that the bulls want to touch the 11-year resistance line here at $70,000 before we can expect a bigger correction. And that's why for sure, if we break the $66,000 level with a 4-hourly candle to the upside, for me this would mean for sure I will scale up my long positions again, and I will take then profits at the $70,000 level. And if we're at the $70,000 level, I will tell you exactly what price levels we have to keep an eye on, what I'm expecting, and so on and so forth, because I'm uploading every single day. And if there's an emergency, like I said, you will get an update on my Twitter, so make sure to follow it right now. Activate the notifications for my Twitter. Like I said, it's down below in the top of the description. But now I will upload this video as soon as possible, because like I said, Bitcoin is dangerously close at the moment to this crucial support level for the 1-hourly and also for the 4-hourly time frame, and I want to make sure that you see this video before we maybe break to the downside. But yeah, let's just upload the video. I will see you tomorrow or in some Twitter updates. Till then, bye.